The best positions to sleep and manage neck and back pain. Did you know that around 10 million people in England suffer from back pain? These are worrying figures. It shows that people of all ages are struggling with an issue, often a musculoskeletal problem. And, this stems from their environment, whether it be their work environment, their social environment, the environment they're in when they come home. It's a trained issue. Sleeping in itself is another one of those trained issues. Bad sleeping positions are one of the main contributing factors to those that suffer from neck and back pain. The amount of times I've heard my clients come to a session and have said that the symptoms have onset from just waking, and they're not quite sure as to how it's come about, yet they woke up with the problem. We know that, yes, the position they're sleeping will attribute to what they feel that day, but it's a lot more than just the way they sleep. It's not the only contributing factor, but it will have a big impact because it's something that's being done every day, repetitively, and often in sync. So, especially where there are times where working from home is another new thing, and that's become unavoidable. Some people go into the office, quite a few people work from home now. If you think back to the epidemic just before, most people were working from an office with a reasonable desk setup. Now people are at home on their laptops, in front of the TV, or on a sofa, at a table, at a desk, that they've just recently become accustomed to, or are trying to get accustomed to, and that's the demand for the body to adapt and help them manage it. So it's a constant adaptation that the body is having to manage, and provided one is aware of what their body's doing and how it's managing the environment they're in, will go a long way to helping them manage any form of neck and back pain, recovering quite quickly. I think that's one of the biggest factors in those that actually recover quickly, is the awareness of their body when the problem's there, and understanding what's caused it. But going back to the topic of the best positions to sleep, because of course, while I can't change my clients' working environments, I can advise, of course, but it's up to them to apply it. I can certainly advise, however, how is the best position to manage back pain, especially during sleep, a time where most of the muscle imbalances are developing over time. So let's start with what sleeping positions should be avoided. I'll bullet point this just for ease of listening. So sleeping on the front, this position is best to avoid, very simply because it creates muscle imbalances and breathing issues. It's a known fact. Compression of the rib cage, the diaphragm being a muscle of respiration allows the rib cage to expand, and if you're lying on your front, the full breath cannot be taken, and thus tightens the diaphragm and thus restricts the rib cage. Add to that the fact that the head is being turned to one side, and that's being kept there. It's a common predisposition to neck issues and other problems too. Sleeping on the front should be avoided. The fetal position is another one. Now, this is the most common position people sleep in, but why is it known as bad to be back for back pain? Well, most people in the fetal position will curl up. I mean, maybe the weather, if it's cold, that will attribute to someone curling up more, but most people will curl up, which will then mechanically alter the position of the lower spine. It will stretch the tissues, the ligaments that connect into the lower spine into a position that are often not usually in. And of course, sleeping for several hours in this position can then result in pain, especially when then trying to move from that position. Just think, I mean, we see pictures and videos of people, on social media sitting at desks, and there's, awareness of how not to sit. Well, if you think somebody's slouching at a desk, that's what's happening, but just lying down. So it's another position that should be avoided. The tip really is, essentially keeping the knees just slightly up, with a pillow in between them, because the pillow in between the knees will keep the hip, pelvis and spine in a better alignment, which will immediately alleviate pressure off the knee, but also the lower part of the spine. So that's the key point from this. Also, lying on the side in itself, provided the pillow that's been used for the head to rest is good, this will help with the alignment of the head and the neck, as well as its connection to the rest of the body, and to keep the body in a kind of neutral position, where the nose should line up with the chin, and then the chin should line up with the breastbone, and that should then line up with the umbilicus. This unloads weight off the body as best as possible. Of course, even that position for several hours can be arduous, but if we're talking about probably the most ergonomic way for us to sleep, I guess that probably is the main position. So sleeping on the side, everything is a bit more uniform as well, so there's a bit more support, compared to the other positions. The back, sleeping on the back is another position. With this, the key is to have a small pillow under the knee. Often those that have tight hamstrings or tight muscles in the lower limb, if you're lying on the back and your legs straight, that can pull on the lower back, especially if they've got a bit more curve than the average individual in the lower part of the spine. It's often good to support those areas with a pillow, so therefore the knees, a pillow underneath the knees, and a pillow maybe slowly underneath the small of the back, especially if the back is quite flat, will be useful. And in terms of a recommendation for neck pain and neck alignment, a good pillow will be a game changer, really, because a good pillow that's been used day in, day out will allow the body to conform and adapt. The pillow I use is a pillow called Original Groove. It's formerly known as the Easy Sleeper for those that probably go online and try and search it up. The benefit of this pillow, the plus of this pillow, is that it will help to maintain and support the natural position of the neck as the head rests. That's really important. So as the weight of the head being 7 to 14 pounds, the weight of the bowling ball, and imagine that constantly putting pressure on the surface. It needs to be able to absorb that pressure without deforming, because that will then alter position of the neck and the rest of the body. Therefore, the pillow should be good at absorbing, and the Easy Sleep, I find, works well for me. It took me a while initially to get used to it, but it's something I haven't looked back from. So give that a try. I mean, I guess it won't work for everybody, but it's worth a try. Again, if we're concerned with ideal mechanics for the body, the head and the neck, and taking stress off the joints, that is what a good pillow can do. But that's pretty much it. So sleeping positions we've covered, pillow recommendation, these little changes. But of course, the most important thing is your awareness of the body, of your body as it's in your working or whatever environment it's in, to help manage it better. It's important to keep an eye on it, and where we can help, we'll always do what we can. Please, if you feel this has been beneficial, look through our other articles. We have several on our website at www.backtohealthwellness.co.uk. I hope you find them all beneficial. A good day to you.